Let's get started. We won't be broken hearted. Well, that's the matter, 'cause we are meant to stay. Let's get started.
Hello everybody, it is Gavin from Film Forest, and I'm going to teach you how to 3D track in After Effects. So, I'm going to teach you the do's and don'ts of tracking here. So what you need to do is don't film like a white wall. If you film a white wall or somewhere where there's no contrast at all, you're going to have a bad time. And two, don't make anything blur too much. I have 3 videos right here. We're going to see which ones track well and which ones don't. We're going to get this one right here. So, we're just going to go through, we're going to preview. It's a very slow, you know, a little shaky, but that's okay. Or is it okay? Because you don't know. Okay. Controls. The next one is a very, very, very shaky film that probably won't track well, and you'll see why in a second. Control Z again. Now this is literally just an airport, not shaky, not very shaky, and as you can see, there's a lot of nice contrast points around, like that camera, that those dots right there. Okay, so we're gonna get this back in, and we're gonna show you how to 3D track in the first place. Now, what you could do, which I don't really want you to do, well, I don't recommend it, is track motion. Track motion, it's going to give you a track point to play around with. It's going to give you a little tracker window. Excuse me. And you could, you know, play around, position, rotation, scale, make it transform or stabilize or whatever. I don't like this track so much because it doesn't really give you a lot to do. So I'm going to re-put this back, and I'm going to do track camera. Track camera is an automatic tracking thing. It's an automatic tracking window, and it's going to find out and track each point of contrast in your video. So we're going to hit that. It's going to come up, and it's going to analyze in background, which is step 1 of 2. Step 1 is analyzing in background. That means it's going to pick out all the parts that you need to well, track. So it's going to do that for a bit. So I'll get back to you when that happens. After Effects in action over here, it says that time remaining 2 minutes, and it's literally counting the frames that it has tracked already. So this will happen for a bit, so you know, you can get your coffee, your tea, or whatever, and do whatever you want to do. Okay, so as you can see here, this was a bit of a bad piece of footage to track. Now, the reason is there's really nothing you can see. You know, there's all kinds of pebbles and stuff, but it's so faint and it's so blended with other stuff. Like here, you can see it's just so blended with other pebbles and stuff you can't actually see, the software can't actually recognize the contrast. Now, you may be able to see it says unable to solve camera for this frame. That means it actually can solve the camera for other frames. For instance, now you can see the little track points. The reason here is because this little patch of sunlight gives way for other contrast, like right in all these places. You can see that little pebble right here and all kinds of other kinds of contrast. And it basically stays for a long time after that. So what we learned here is that you can't really have such a dark area and thousands of contrast points that are so crunched together that you can't even track it. So we learned that. Now we're going to get rid of that, and we're going to be sad because this is terrible for tracking. Let's look at this. This is not nearly as long, so you know what, I'm actually going to delete the composition. Okay. And now we're going to track camera here. I will be right back with you after this. As you can see here, it says analysis solve fail. That means it just completely, just nothing. The camera was too shaky, and the track points weren't really there. They were blurry. So now that we saw that, we're going to get rid of this, and we're going to go on to 2054, the airport. Now, what I said before is that it has some pretty neat track points. Like there, you can see all these contrast points on the white here. You can see the camera up here is a pretty nice contrast. Excuse me. So let's try tracking this. Track camera. Ignore all the background noises behind me. It's kind of busy here. So I'll get back to you when this is done. I never had a doubt. This was an amazing tracking session. As you can see, with all these track points, and even some that you never even knew were going to exist, like these ones in the clouds, this is an amazing track. And let's actually go through the preview here. Never mind you. So anyway, you can see that these tracks are running very smooth. So now you may be wondering, what in the world can you do with this? I'm going to show you. So you can do a variety of things. You can make, a 3D object if you have the right plugins like Element 3D. You can probably stick that onto the ground. You can put some words up there, which is actually what I'm going to do. The possibilities are endless. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm not actually going to use this. You could probably look for that in another video. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to pick a track point up here. You could create a solid, a null, or a text. I'm going to create a text and camera. Now this 3D track camera is actually what makes the text move with, the video. You can see it actually looks pretty nice. So we don't need this in the way anymore, so we can get rid of that. And we're going to do something here. We're going to put, let's say I like pancakes. I like pancakes is very, very necessary at this point. So we're gonna make the size smaller because I like pancakes doesn't need to be so big. And we're going to, fix it up a little. Let's have it not be pink. Let's just have it be black. Something ringed. I'm hoping. Okay. Okay, so we're gonna have it be black. No, actually, I think I like a nice red. I think a red will do. I don't think it looked good with black. Let's change the font. Let's just do. Let's do Cambria. Let's do Cambria. It's going to take a minute. Okay. Now that we have this, which I don't know what that is, we're going to place it somewhere. Now you can place it on the ground. Now, what's awesome about 3D tracking is that it automatically makes it a 3D layer, which means you can rotate it any way you want. And now I'm actually going to put it right here. Just adjust very carefully everything. So now I Like Pancakes is strapped to the floor. Someone was naughty with graffiti. Okay, so now that you have that, you can do whatever the heck you want. I could also, I'm going to fix this, make that down to 0. You can also strap it to the wall. Let's make it small. There we go. And now we're just going to adjust the Z here so it matches. Boom. And now we're gonna, I think that's good. So now, someone wrote, I like pancakes on the wall. Now, I don't like graffiti artists. I mean, do whatever the heck you want with your life. I don't condone being a graffiti artist, but I mean, on an airport? I mean, seriously? Come on, on an airport. So now that you've learned the basics of 3D tracking, and if you have After Effects, why don't you go on ahead and do something with it? Now, as always, whatever you want to see next, like a tutorial, how can you do this, which is also a tutorial, which I don't know why I said it, and anything else, if you even want like a video edited somehow, or you want an intro somehow, refer to our last video if you want to make that yourself. But if you can't do any of that, please email us at filmforest@gmail.com. Now, thank you everybody for watching. Please like, subscribe if you like it. And I'm out. Bye-bye.